Hello everyone, Kazo War here with a Wi-Fi battle against UnhappyCarousel. In this battle, I used 6 random sweepers, and yeah, those question marks were some glitched up Pokemon pretty much. But anyways, I see that he has a Terrakion there, a Tyranitar, so I decided to lead with my Terrakion, thinking that he would lead with his Tyranitar, so he can get sand up. So that's what I do. I lead with Terrakion, and he actually leads with his Rotom. So I think that it's Scarf right now, so I decide the best move would be to switch into Latios because I didn't want Terrakion to take a Hydro Pump right now. So I go to the Latios, and he actually predicts me switching out Terrakion and goes for a Volt Switch so that he can see what I have switched into and then switch into the appropriate Pokemon on his team to deal with it. So he goes into Tyranitar, and since my Latios can't do anything to a Tyranitar, I decide that the best bet would be to switch out and switch into Landorus, but he actually is carrying the Pursuit, and he's able to take out my Latios. So I decide to go back into Landorus again because so I could do a U-turn and maybe get some damage on his Latios, or his Latias, if he decided to switch into it, predicting Earthquake, but he didn't. So Tyranitar took the U-turn, but still did a good amount of damage because he was weak to it, and he sets up a layer of rocks. So with Terrakion in now, I decided to go for the Sacred Sword this turn over Close Combat because I know Sacred Sword will take out his Tyranitar, but I didn't want to go for the Close Combat and be have my defenses lowered for whoever he switched into. But he decides to switch into Rotom to take the hit, and I was thinking about switching out here because I believed he was still Scarfed at the time, but I stayed in and actually went for the Sacred Sword because sand was up, so that would reduce the amount of damage I would have taken, so I stayed in and actually outsped it. So now he brings in that thing, and I decided to switch out because I was fearing the Psychic. So I go into Gen X so I can get a U-turn off on it for damage, and he actually sets up the Trick Room on the switch and then outspeeds because of the Trick Room and hits me with a Hidden Power Fire and took out my Genesect in one hit, which caught me off guard there. So now I just bring in Landorus so I can hit him with a super effective U-turn, and he actually, hits me with the Side Shock there because he outspeeds, and it does a ton of damage, and my U-turn takes him down to about 40% health. It did about 60% damage. So I decided to bring in Tyranitar now because he has Hidden Power Fire and Side Shock, and I think he told me in the chat that he had Focus Blast at the time, so that's probably the reason, or he didn't have Focus Blast, so that was one of the reasons why I brought this guy in, because I knew he didn't have it. So I go for the Crunch and takes him out, and he didn't do much damage to me. I forgot what he did there because I was talking. But anyways, I don't know why I stayed in, but probably because I saw the Fire Punch on the Tyranitar, so I decided to go for it. But he actually outsped because of Bullet Punch. It took me out in one hit, so that was kind of dumb on my part. I should have just switched to Heatran in the first place. But anyways, I decided to go for the overheat here because if he decided to switch out, I was hoping to get maximum damage on whatever he brought in before I had to switch him out. But since he brought out his Tyranitar, it did like 1 damage anyway, so it wouldn't really matter if I went with Overheat instead of Flamethrower. But I go into Terrakion, he actually goes for the Rock Slide. I went to Terrakion hoping to get a the boost from the Dark Attack, but I don't even think why I was thinking at the time because I'm sure you wouldn't use a Dark Attack against a Heatran. But anyways, Tyranitar is down, and he decides to bring out his Latias. And since I'm locked into Fighting move, I decide to switch out to Heatran to because Latias can't really do much to Heatran unless it's carrying Surf. But anyways, I go for the Hidden Power because that's the only thing I have on this thing that can really do any damage to it. And luckily, it breaks the sub, but he sets up a comm mine. So after the next sub, it probably wouldn't have broken the sub. So he should have probably subbed up again, but for some reason he decides to switch out. He switches out into Scizor, and I go for another hidden power. And I can't do, you know, I can't switch my attack because I'm Scarf, so I have to switch out here. And that's what I do. But he is taking his time, thinking of what to do. And now he picked his move, so I can switch to Latios, or my Landorus. He goes for the superpower. And that's enough to take out Landorus at the low health. So now I'm stuck with Terrakion and Heatran. And pretty much the game is over here. So I was thinking about doing the Terrakion, but then he would just bullet punch me and kill me. So now I go into Heatran because I know Scizor can't do anything to Heatran, but I can't really do anything because I was fearing to switch. So I decided to switch so that I could bring out. I was actually wanting to get out his Latios, but he actually switched it to his Heatran. And I go from the Stone Edge thinking that he would switch out into his Latios this turn to resist the fighting attack, you know. But he doesn't, and my Stone Edge misses, and he goes for a second Earth Power and takes out my Terrakion there. But now all I got left is Heatran, and even though I could have went with the Earth Power and killed the Heatran, the Latios would just come in and, you know, be immune to it. So I just go for Hidden Power because in the long run it was probably my best move, even though it was obviously didn't do anything to him. So that was that battle. It was a good game, and see you guys next time.